A 17-year-old former member of a girl group in Japan has been sued for $5,400, and she actually has been ordered to pay that amount to the management company that sued her. Now, why was this woman sued? Well, it turns out, or I should say girl sued. She was sued because she had the audacity to have a relationship, and if you're a girl pop star in Japan, you're not allowed to have relationships because that tarnishes your image. So she was found to be in breach of a no dating clause in her contract and ordered to pay $5,400. The clause prohibiting dating was necessary to get the support of male fans. The revelation of an idol's relationship damages their image. And that's according to the judge who made the ruling in this case.
Yeah, that wasn't according to her contract or the people that she signed up with. No, that was the judge. Like, no, of course it obviously damages your image if you're actually dating someone.
This is the most amazing story ever. Okay, so before we continue, let me give the caveat of this is not necessarily unique to female pop stars in Japan, although it actually impacts female pop stars way more than male pop stars. There are cases of male pop stars who have similar clauses in their contracts. There was one case of a guy who got married in 2012 to a woman without telling his management company about it. They found out and he was like blacklisted for a little while, but then later they forgave him. So he continued doing
numbers.
So, but with the girls, that's not the case. They don't get forgiven. They're considered like terrible, terrible people if they date, which is the most normal thing in the world. So there have been cases of them being seen like spending the night at someone's apartment or house or whatever it is. And it's like, oh my God, how dare you? And the whole thing is the image of the girl is supposed to be innocent, yet fiercely sexy, right? So they're dressed in schoolgirl costumes and like, I'm sexy, right? But I'm a virgin and I'm a good girl and you can have me. Like that's the whole point. They're trying to play into this fantasy that the boys have that they're attainable.
So that's the interesting part.
Yeah.
So the innocence we get at cultures throughout the world do that.
Yes.
Right?
They're innocent, but they're dressed, I mean, they're scantily clad, which I think is interesting.
Also throughout the world, I mean,
Britney Spears
circa
outfit 1998.
Like literally in a schoolgirl outfit.
Yes.
What was her song about like, I'm so innocent?
Hit Me Baby? No.
Hit Me Baby One More Time was after the innocent song. Like, oh my God, I'm so innocent. Now hit me, baby, one more time.
No, Hit Me Baby One More Time was the song where she was wearing the schoolgirl costume. Am I correct? Yes. I know my music.
Okay. So, okay, what happens? So, yeah, I get it. Now, does Japan do it more? Yes, right?
They take it to an extra level.
I mean, the schoolgirl outfit thing in Japan is in almost every porn they make, right? And it's like standard. For you know, American porn, you know, you do this, this, and this, right? In Japan, they're like schoolgirl outfit. Okay, anyway. But what the interesting twist here is, no, make them believe they can go out with you, right? It's not just the innocence. It's that make them believe they can have sex with you.
So basically what they're saying is, if you're caught with a guy, then you're ruining the fantasy for your male fans, which I think is so sad and pathetic. Right? But I think it's insulting to everyone involved. I think it's insulting to the fans because it makes it seem like they're just these lonely, lustful, pathetic guys who are watching this like pop star on TV and they're like, oh my God, I have a chance. No, you don't. You don't have a chance, right? You don't have a chance whether that person has a boyfriend. This is already kind of a
downer. Now I'm starting to side with the Japanese.
No, you have no chance, okay? It's a fantasy that's being sold to you and you're being a schmuck by buying into that fantasy. And then there's that really pathetic element of it where the pop stars, both man and woman or girl or boy, are like belittled into nothing more, or minimized, I should say, to nothing more than salami spanking material. Like, and that's it. Like, they're not talented. Who cares about all that? We just want to turn you into a sexual fantasy, and that's it. If you ruin that sexual fantasy, well, then you're worthless. You have tarnished your image. They use the word tarnished. Isn't that amazing?
So it both is incredibly amazing and not at all amazing.
Yeah.
So the idea that pop stars might be sexual fantasies for people, yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of cultures are guilty of that. I pretty think that Americans kind of invented that.
Yes.
Right.
Let me jump in with that. Yes. Look, I sexualize the hell out of people like Chris Pine, right? Fucking sexy. I fantasize about him. I get it. But I sanction a relationship, okay? He's allowed to have relationships, and I'll still lust after him.
Yes. So, and by the way, when you say they have no chance, it's not because like those girls are so much hotter or so much better than anyone in Japan. It's just that you're not going to run into them, right? You're not going to have that opportunity. I don't know who their boyfriends are, but they're among the few, males that had access to them in Japan, right? So that's why it's a dream not likely to happen. They're not going to come to your hometown and as you're walking down the street, be like, hey, you over here, come on, let's go out on a date randomly, right? So, and people are generally aware of that, but they do get a little bummed. And I know because I do it. And I know that it's not logical, right? But when I was single, like I would get bummed every time somebody that I thought was super hot got married. It's not a strictly sexual thing. It's not like, oh, well, there that goes.
Yeah.
Now I can't fantasize about her because that would be cheating. Like, of course not. Who gives a shit, right? But it felt like, oh, yeah, I was going to get her. But then, and then I would say like, I'll catch her on the flip side after a divorce. Okay, now, of course that's not true. Of course I know that that's not realistic, but it's a fantasy. And what is entertainment but fantasy? So it's just an interesting twist on that in the Japanese culture, which, again, I don't think is that much different than our culture.
I just don't like... by the way, here's another really important part of this. So some of you might be arguing, well, these pop stars knew what they were getting themselves into. But keep in mind that a lot of them are minors. They're all not all, but most of them are underage, which means that their parents signed the contracts for them. So their parents signed the contracts for them, and then they have these management companies that are prying into their personal lives as they're, growing up and they're teenagers and they want to date and they want to live their lives. So I hate that component of it. And then again, I hate the whole notion of like sexualizing these minors, having them wear like the schoolgirl costumes.
Of course. Yeah, so I totally agree with you on that. And don't get me wrong, should they date people anyway? Of course they should date them. And by the way, our version in America, there's a lot of our versions of this in America, but one of them is, hey, don't be gay, because that'll ruin your appeal. And if you're a guy and you're supposed to be a stud in the movies and we find out you're gay, then women won't be able to fantasize about you in the same way. So keep all of your relationships secret. And by the way, I know people in Hollywood who are huge stars. Well, not a big deal. No, just because we live in LA, right? And they have if they're gay, they have their partners sign contracts saying they will never talk about it in public, okay, because it would ruin and tarnish their image. So not that different, right? In fact, I think that, the more I think about it, I think maybe you ought to break up with Christian.
No.
And I should put that in your contract.
No, hold on. So you want to know something funny? A person who will go unnamed told me that it's a bad idea that I share pictures of us together on Instagram, on social media.
Of course it is. That's actually true.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay,
right?
I know you don't.
So if there's a bunch of TYT fans that are like, oh my God, I really liked Anna, but I'm not going to watch the show anymore because she has a boyfriend.
Okay, well, no, don't listen to her. Okay,
later.
Stay right here.
Because I'm not here for you to jerk off to. I know some of you do, and that's fine if you want to, right? But I'm here to talk about the news. I'm here to talk about the news. I love what I do, and hopefully you see me as more than salami spanking material.
Same goes for me, obviously. I know how heartbroken you all were, my female fans, when I got married. I thought about keeping it secret because I didn't want to break all your hearts, okay? I don't want you just diddling yourself to me, okay?
Oh, my God. Oh, my
I know it's happening out there. I know it, okay?
Look, to be fair to you, I did post a picture on my Instagram page, Anna Kasparian TYT. You guys should all follow me. It's an awesome page. And a bunch of female fans were like, oh, Cenk is so hot.
Not a big deal. Not a big deal. I'm here all week.
Hey, so I'm sorry, quick two things. Can we, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, so that's why I'm asking. Keep it real. I wish also maybe Hannah was here, whoever else, women that work for TYT that get some attention. It's annoying, I get it. But it's satisfying. You enjoy that people say, oh, you look nice. And when it gets vulgar, it's annoying. But no one, I think, would dislike people saying, oh, yeah, I like what you do on the show, but you're so hot. Of course, guys we suck it up because it doesn't happen much, But, so I don't know, I feel like it's maybe overblown because a lot of times people want to push back the vulgar things and suddenly don't want to start getting dick pics if they go, oh, and start inviting a lot of compliments. But it's okay to like it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Every once in a while I'll get comments that say things like, I don't want to belittle you. You're really smart and you're really talented and I like the show, but I just want to let you know you're hot. Like, they feel like they have to give me those caveats before telling me that they think I'm attractive. You can tell me I'm attractive. I don't find that offensive at all. At all.
Yeah.
But what is offensive is when all you are is someone who's hot on a show and they don't think you're talented or whatever.
And you know, with girls, it's much worse. Although now lately there's been some funny things. I want to save some of the ridiculous, over-the-top sexual comments for the post-game. I also want to talk about Japanese porn in the post-game because I can't. I think it might tell you something about a culture, the porn, right? Okay. So I want to compare different international porn to one another. So it's going to be a hell of a post-game. Buckle up. TYTnetwork.com/subscribe.